Hey everybody, we are so excited. Today's a really big day. We have Denise Clifford with us here today, and she is launched her book. It is the Decluttered Effect. We're going to be talking about, well, we have some questions for you, Denise, so I hope you're prepared for that. But before we get to that, if you can you tell us a little bit more like of a background of who you are and how this book came to fruition?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Denise Clifford. I am a wife, a mom of two, and I am a professional organizer. I started DeeCluttered about 3 years ago, kind of at the height of the pandemic. And I have been organizing my entire life and really been doing it almost as a side hustle for years, helped countless of families, friends, and now have extended out into my neighborhood and my community. I've had clients up and down the Northeast coast. I've helped families in Connecticut, New York, Florida. So I'm taking every opportunity I can to help share what I find to be fulfilling and enjoyable and something that comes very naturally to me.
Love it. I'm so excited for this book. A lot of individuals have been commenting everywhere like, I can't wait to get this book because it's something that we all really need and we don't put it in the forefront of our minds often. And so once it's there and it's presented, we just get excited. We're like, ooh, I want to get my hands on that, because who doesn't? I know some people don't like to clean, but we all want organized homes, right? So it's like we got to take the step. Let's learn how to do that. Let's dive into it. Today is a celebration, so I'm going to let Hannah kick off some of the celebratory questions for you.
Well, today's celebratory, I think, because today the book actually hits live. So anyone who's been waiting for this book to come out, it is out. It's in 13 countries. You can purchase it in ebook for the next 2 weeks, and we really, 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 really want you to do that because number one, it's an incredible book. It's very easy to read it. The tips in there are so simplified, and this is something that Denise and I talked about last week when we lit the torch. Just a simplification that people are looking for in today's busy times. The mom hacks, like just the overall. But what our biggest goal today is, we want to make sure, and the only way that this can happen is if everyone gets the book. So we want to make sure Denise hits bestseller, international bestseller in 13 countries in the next 24 hours. So pump up the volume, people. Get the book. And I think one of my biggest questions is, how does it feel? Because this has been a process for you for months. We've been working with you literally for months, and now it's here. So
Yeah.
how do you feel?
It's definitely so exciting. I have a nice weight lifted off my shoulder because it's been a trying task to put down all of my thoughts and to get them organized. And I think my biggest concern that I expressed to both of you when we first started this project was how can we make this book organized? I'm not a writer, I'm not a publisher, so I looked to you both and the team for guidance in terms of just keeping it easy for people to read. I think that was also a concern of mine, was making sure that readers were able to follow and able to pick up quick tips. Because I know myself, I love to read, but at the same time, when I'm looking for tips or hacks on how to be a better mom or a better entertainer when I'm hosting, or a better, organizer in my profession, I want to know quick, fast, and easy, what are the right steps? What are the best tools? And I wanted to be able to offer that to my readers. So it's exciting. I'm happy that it's out there.
So a little did you know.
Oh dear.
The really cool part, because we're celebrating with you, and the reason why is because your book is the very first book published this year for our solo authors.
Wow.
So you literally have set the bar
No
for
pressure.
everyone else to come. And it's really exciting because we are in need of organization. Like we were literally having pre-show talk right now. I just moved and I was like, I need an organizer. It's like there's no time like the present to grab the book. You're going to see this book in Target, you're going to see this book on Walmart, you're going to see it in Barnes and Noble, you're going to see it in other countries and major retailers. And I think what makes it such an incredible read is, number one, your relatability. One of my favorite things is the cover. When we were discussing like, oh, what photo, what cover, and I'm like, the hangers, it's the hangers, because that's how we feel. Well, at least that's how I feel.
That's how I feel.
So I was like, yes, that one, when people see that, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's me, so I think it's just an extraordinary book that so many are going to relate to. And it's not just for women, it's for men and women. So that makes it a twofer.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. So, Adriana, do you have another question for Denise?
I do. Yes, they're going to be a couple of showcasing questions, in my opinion. So here's the first one.
Oh dear.
How can don't be nervous. How can someone know if they need a decluttering expert or if they can tackle the task on their own?
It's a great question. Well, I truly believe that everyone can tackle something on their own. There is always a portion of your home or of your space that you can address by yourself, whether it's a small task or you have the ability to tackle something bigger. I think that you know your stuff the best. You know why you're holding on to something. While I have a lot of clients who need some hand holding, whether it's with the fashion or whether it's with how to let go of even just everyday items in their kitchen, or mementos. Sometimes people do need hand holding, and I think that's maybe where you might need to get a little bit of extra help. But even in my book, I talk about a number of easy wins or smaller tasks that are possible to do on your own. Things like your purse, things like the junk drawer, maybe the medicine cabinet, other areas of the home that you can tackle in a small amount of time, and that you can, with the right tools and the right approach, you can do on your own. Sometimes, you may need the help of a second set of eyes, or somebody who has that sort of spatial understanding of how to use the area to its maximum ability or maximum capacity. So those might be an instance where you want to hire somebody, usually bigger projects like a garage or a basement.
Definitely. And I think to kind of piggyback off that, the next question goes well with that. So what are some common mistakes that people make when attempting to declutter their own home?
This is my biggest pet peeve. And while I love all of my clients, it makes me kind of cringe when they say, I bought all the bins. Look, I got all these baskets. Look at this. Or I got these great, drawers. I'm like, no, because the process, in order to get to that point in the process, and I find it I would find it amazing if I ever met an organizer who disagreed with me. To get to that point in the process where you're purchasing things, you need to go through a number of steps prior. You need to go through your sorting and your eliminating and your evaluating of your belongings first. You need to measure, because I've had so many instances where we're kind of stuck using certain containers because people have spent their budget on it. And they're not the most optimal tools. They're not maximizing the space. It's almost a hindrance to really getting organized. Now, while I am a huge advocate of using things that you already own, because I love saving money, I love saving my clients money, it's great to repurpose things, but sometimes the things that you own or the things that you purchase before you know that you need them, or you know what you need, cause more of an issue in truly getting organized. So I think that's probably one of the biggest pitfalls that people do when they're trying to get organized on their own. So don't do it.
Don't go buy 30 bins.
Don't buy the 30 bins.
So you all are going to be seeing a lot more of Denise this week, next week, the week after. Denise has book signings coming up. We have panel discussions. I know we have one tomorrow. But I do have to ask this final question before we close out. What is one of the biggest takeaways that you hope everyone who reads this book receives?
Well, I think it's kind of maybe twofold. One is that getting, decluttered is not the same as tidying up. Mm-hmm. And that you have to kind of go through these steps that I outline in the book to be able to tidy up. And it's a process. So it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a little bit of effort on the part of the person who wants to get organized. It's, obviously people who are disorganized, and, myself included, my house is not, the picture perfect Pinterest image, but I have sort of these systems to keep being tidy that much easier. So I think that that's something that the readers really need to know, and that people who want to get organized really need to know, that it's going to take a shift in the way you approach keeping your home, and that it's going to take some effort, but that it's possible. And that once you take that first step, that having those kind of systems in place make the maintenance easy. And that's kind of the twofold, is that there will be maintenance because life happens, and that's okay. And we should be enjoying our life, and we shouldn't worry about, does my sock drawer look perfect? No, your child who wants to play with you, or your husband who wants to go out on a date, or your friends who want to go out to brunch. No, I can't do that. My sock drawer is a mess. No, go enjoy these things. Spend time and do things, that you love to do. Spend time with the people that you love. But recognize that if you set up the systems, that when it's time to tidy up, that it'll be that much easier.
So progress over perfection, basically.
Yes.
Like, don't stress yourself, take it day by day. I love that. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and congratulations on your book release. Everybody get the book. It's really easy to find. It's called The DeeCluttered Effect, and we are very excited. And for those who've already gotten it, because it did release very, very early East Coast, we are welcoming reviews and anything that you would want to share. We want to hear from the readers. So thank you so much, Denise. We will see you tomorrow, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, Denise. Thank you.
Thank you.